Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.
All right, Eddie Alvarez, the Underground King, one championship, lightweight. Great to see you, mate. How's it going? It's been a while.
Excellent, man. I'm feeling great.
What have you been up to? How difficult is it being, well, out of action, I guess, not being injured? It must be tough to not know when your next fight is.
Yeah, look, the thing about getting a fight schedule and having a date, an opponent, and everything like that is like it's very simple to be motivated. Once you get the date, the opponent, the nerves start kicking in. It's really easy to wake up early, go to bed late. But I've been competing and fighting for 17 years now. So for me to get this much time off, and get a chance to heal and be with my kids, be with my family, and get to do some things and not have people asking me to fight, I'd be lying if I didn't say it felt good a little bit. So I actually I got in the gym in a place in Philadelphia, and there's a kid, Sean Brady, next future champion from Philadelphia, and he's getting ready for a fight. So I just helping him get ready for his fight that's coming up soon. And Frankie's also getting ready for a fight. Frankie's fighting next weekend. So just kind of doing that.
Is it difficult when, because you've worked hard for a long time, you've earned certain things in the game. When you came up, it was probably a different story. You've got that hunger, you want to prove yourself, you want to win belts. You've been a world champion in UFC and Bellator. Is it difficult now to remind yourself, I guess you're not there yet till you got a fight booked, but is it, because from an onlooker, right, it must be difficult to get back in that mindset, become that dog, become that kind of raw energy again, when you've kind of got used to that nice family time, that nice lifestyle out of the game a little bit?
Yeah, like it's about changing your environment. You know what I mean? You change your mind, you change your environment, and it's real easy to kind of dive into that world when you put yourself in that environment. Like I said, recently I went back to my old neighborhood. There's a gym in North Philly. It's not the best place in the world. Small gym, maybe 1,500 square foot gym with a bunch of killers in there. And immediately putting yourself in that environment kind of changes your mind right away and lets you know it's time, time to work, time to grind. But yeah, that's something. 17 years in fighting is it's a long time. And I describe it to people that it's just like any relationship. When you're first married, the honeymoon's beautiful. There's no arguments, there's no anything like that. And then you settle in, and then when all the butterflies are gone, then it takes work. Love and a relationship takes work, and it's not easy. It's simple in the beginning, but then from there it takes work. And my relationship with fighting has been just like that. Sometimes you don't want to do it, you got to fucking get up and do it. It's bottom line. There's no other option.
Have you had a little bit of time to reflect on your career at ONE so far? Obviously not the best start, but then you beat the former champion. I was surprised that you're not ranked in the top 5. Were you surprised by that? How do you look back on how it's gone so far, and why do you think you're not in the top 5?
I have no clue why I'm not in top 5. I don't. I'm not. It was silly when I seen the rankings. I'm like, but it is what it is. I don't concern myself with rankings. I want to get to that world title. I want to beat the guy. I want to beat the guys in front of me. If I can get a title shot, the next, I'll take the title shot next. I've fought everybody in the world. If you're a champion and you're the best in the world, I probably fought you, or I probably tried to fight you. I just want to fight. I want to fight the champions. I want to fight whoever has a belt around their waist. I want to get in their face, and I want an opportunity to win the belt. So that's where my focus is, and that's where my energy lies.
Well, the guy with the belt right now, Christian Lee, he would absolutely love to fight you. I think he has a lot of respect for you. It's a name. I've interviewed him a bunch of times, and he sees you as a legend of the game, rightly so. And you're kind of at different ends of the spectrum, right? That kid is still so young. It seems inevitable that you guys will meet. And I think for the fans, it's definitely one that should happen. Do you think it's inevitable? And is it a fight that you like against Christian Lee?
It's inevitable. It's inevitable because I mean, if he remains champion, it is. You know, if he remains champion, it is. I've never entered an organization and not won the title. It's um I I'm uneasy until I'm the champion of a promotion. So I'll be uneasy until I win the belt. It's like that old adage, like it's not over until I win. That's how I feel inside when I join a promotion. So it's not over until I win. So whoever has that belt around their waist, I'm on my way there. So if he stays champion, then I'll be fighting him soon.
Have you been watching him closely? Are you impressed? Have you seen a guy achieve what he's achieved? I remember when he came to one, he was a teenager. He was so young. He's filled out a bit more now. But have you been watching his body of work? Does it impress you?
I've seen him fight a couple times. He's long, rangy, he's quick. He surprised me with how he fought Dagi, like taking Dagi down. I was under the impression that Dagi's wrestling was better than that. I guess it wasn't. Christian took it on a late notice and came in and kind of destroyed Dagi. It was a phenomenal performance by him, and I was like, wow, man, it shocked me a little bit. So that was probably one of his best that I seen, where I was like, wow, this kid, he can really put his fighting together, his stand up, his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu. He's really putting things together well. So that was good.
Well, the Dagi fight's one that was supposed to happen now as recently as February, right? And injuries happen, things happen. I suppose you're used to it by now. I mean, this game is a roller coaster, right? But do you think that's what one want next for you, that they want that Dagi fight to finally happen? And you've had plenty of time to have a look at him now.
Yeah, I think I'm under the impression that he's next. If he's not, then I'll take Christian. I don't, you know what I mean? It doesn't. Like I said, I don't. I'll fight. I'll fight other guys. I don't mind. I will. But at this point in my career, at this point, I want the largest names. I want the biggest prizes. The world titles and whatever. I don't feel the need to I have to prove myself to anyone. I fought everyone, like literally. I'll fight the best guys in the world, and I want to fight on the biggest stages for the biggest prizes.
There was a real air about Dagi, like he was the one to watch. He was the most dangerous guy that not many people had heard of, particularly maybe in the States. And then the Christian Lee result happened. Did that take away a bit of his kind of mystique for you? Did that make him seem more beatable for you, that Christian Lee loss?
I seen him. He's beatable. You know what I mean? I seen him as beatable before Christian Lee fought him, but I didn't see the Christian Lee fight going that way. That's not how I visualized it. I thought it was going to be a much tougher fight for Christian. I thought Dagi's ground game and wrestling was a lot better, but I think I'm of the understand that Dagi was injured going into that fight, that he was injured as well, and he fought anyway. So I don't know what to think of that result, whether that was a true and honest result, because yes, he could have been injured, but also Christian Lee took the fight on 1 or 2 week notice. So that pretty much evens it up to me. You know what I mean? So, it just, Christian Lee did a great job, great game plan with what he knew of Dagi. And, it was a good fight.
Yeah, he did look a little bit off from what we'd seen of him previously. I use the word inevitable about you fighting Christian. I think it's one the fans want, as I mentioned, but there are a couple of others. Shinya is one that keeps coming up, right? Shinya Aoki, he's coming to the end of his career. Real key figure at one. He was kind of the face of the promotion for a little while. Is that one, do you think, one that should or could happen before either of you retire?
Of course. I don't care if it does. I'll be honest. I'm just being totally honest. Like, I don't. When Shinya beat me, I was very young in my career. I was super young. I didn't didn't train jiu-jitsu much. I was still like trying to knock everyone's head off. I was not polished. I didn't put my game together and do so. I mean, I evolved a ton since he beat me back in 2007, and I think the result when we rematch was pretty much going to be the result from now till the end of time. I feel like I'd put him away the same way. I don't feel like there would be a different result to that fight. So I don't really feel the need to fight him again, or the want to fight him again. And unless it's for a title, you know what I mean?
So another gentleman I've got to bring up, Michael Chandler. Would you welcome him to one championship? Seems like why not for possibilities right now. I know Dana's interested, but you guys fighting in one would be a bit of a blockbuster. Surely main event. It would be great if it was for a title or at least a number one contender. Do you see that as a possibility? Does it interest you?
No, I don't care about him either. I don't. I I don't, because again, it's another guy who don't hold the world title. He wasn't the champion of Bellator. He got knocked out by the 45 pounder, and he's not the champion of one, and he wasn't the champion of UFC. Like he's not a champion anymore. So I don't really. I like, my goal is set on champions. If the only one who really interests me and that I'd be licking my chops at right now is Christian Lee. I don't anyone else could, they can do whatever they want.
Justin Gaethje is somebody who now has a belt, right? He's going to go in to face Khabib. Is it interesting for you, having knocked him out and given how highly everybody rates Justin? Does that feel like another feather in your cap on your kind of massive CV of accomplishments?
I it's it's to me it's no sorry. To me it's no feather in my cap. I mean, Justin was a hell of a fighter when we fought. He still is. I never thought of Justin any differently after I knocked him out. I always thought Justin was incredible. I always thought our fight could have been 50-50. He could have ended me before I ended him. It could have happened anyway. And I always seen him as a champion. So he's actually probably, for me personally, as a fan of the sport, he's I like watching him fight more than anyone else in the sport of MMA. So like, that's just my personal opinion, and it's sort of fights that I like watching and the sort of fighters I like watching. So I'm a fan of his. I'm glad he's fighting for a title, and I hope he puts Khabib away. I don't. He deserves it. He deserves big money. He's been through the ringer and he's fought the best guys in the world. So I hope he gets everything he deserves.
Man, yeah, well, I'm so glad we got to see you guys go at it. You know, two of the best at doing what you do. Finally,
Yeah,
mate.
I'm still. I mean, I'm still the most violent man in the world. That title. I don't have anything back here saying that, but I won that title. That was one. That was a one and done, and it's not in the trophy case, but um, I will remain the most violent man in the sport forever.
MVM, the MVM title, yeah, yeah, the unofficial. Or okay, mate. Finally, then, has anyone from one been on to you? Because I mean, people are scrambling to make things happen, right? They've got shows back again, which is such a good sign. Having, we had like 6 months off, right? So have people been on the phone to you about trying to make it happen? Of course, we're all going to have to be patient. But, is there a rough idea about whether it's early next year or
No,
when we might see you
I think
again?
we're fighting before this year ends. I'm almost positive we're fighting before this year ends, and I'll be ready. So before the year ends, I'll be back fighting. And whether right now Americans can't fly internationally, but one's trying really hard to get an event somewhere in the States and make something happen. So I'm pretty sure I'll be fighting by the end of the year, and I'll be disappointed if I don't.
So we're looking at, if I'm to put everything together, you versus Dagi in the US before the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm not sure the opponent. It's Dagi, Christian Lee. You guys tell me, tweet Chatri, tweet one championship. Let me know who you want me to fight, and we'll make it happen.
Well, it's easier for Christian to get to you, right? Unless the fight's in Hawaii.
There you go.
Well,
we got to see if the promotion allows it. He says he wants it. The promotion, I don't think wants that to happen. They want him to stay champion for a little longer. The promotion knows what I do to champions.
Well, he's got time on his hands. He's young, but look, from a fan of the sport's perspective, it will be such an incredible matchup, and I really hope it happens. So, always a pleasure, Eddie. You're the man. Thanks for your time, and hopefully we see you back in action really soon.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Pick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you